I'm starting to kind of understand when I'm going to the theater and I take a look and how we're losing original ideas. That's what the topic seems to be nowadays. And unfortunately, it looks like we're only going to the theaters now to just see the sequels. That's all it is. Hello, everyone. My name is Jake from Talk Too Much, and today I'm here to talk about The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now, this is a 20-year sequel that was in the run, and the original came out in 2006. It's one of my wife's all-time favorite movies. So we went on Thursday, got an early screening of it, took a look. It was a fully packed out theater, which was really cool. And we were the first one to be able to see this movie. And I'm here to talk about my time as well as the movie. And just what I overall enjoyed about it. So the original Devil Wears Prada came out in 2006, and when I tell you it's a very big 2000s gem, that's a bit of an understatement. It has that little charm to it when you watch it where you're like, you can tell I'm in the 2000s, everything from the music, from the fashion, all of it. It screams '06 in the best way possible. I'm a big fan of Anne Hathaway, and also I didn't realize that when I was watching the original that it was Emily Blunt. I mean, she's gone through so many changes. So when I was looking and I looked at her, I was like, is that really Emily Blunt? That she looks completely different now. That was kind of caught off guard, as well as Stanley Tucci and Meryl Streep. I'm horrible with names, forgive me, but that's the original cast of The Devil Wears Prada, and here we are 20 years later celebrating a part 2 with all original cast members and a whole new plot. I just saw it for the first time last week. I couldn't really be able to tell you anything about it other than when I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what? 20-year sequels, those are hit or miss. I can kind of give this a shot. I'm sure it's got some good ideas or something there, or else they wouldn't have thought about bringing it back 20 years later. And with the original director, sparked my curiosity. I wanted to go to the movies, have a good time. I wanted to be there for my wife because, again, this was one of her favorite movies. So I wanted to be there for her and more support. She only said there were 2 movies this year, or I believe it's 3 movies, and this was just one of them this year that she really was anticipating and excited for. So I decided to take her out for the night and go take a look at this. So pretty much what's happening is Meryl Streep, the president of Runway, is kind of going on a downhill spiral, meaning the journalists are not doing well jobs. She's getting articles pushed out left and right. Not really good things happening to her lately. And so her boss up ahead decides to go, hey, this is a journalist who just recently was let go. She is phenomenal. She can do great articles. I want you to hire her. And lo and behold, Anne Hathaway comes back to the scene. And with that, she is just trying to protect the company. She's trying to work with Miranda. She is trying to say, hey, it's been 20 years since we've been together. Your company is going downhill. I've come back here to help you. How can I help you? And that's where everything starts. Now, when I say the plot is messy, I only say that because that's the first plot that you get. So starting off with the positives of the movie, I do like how they got all the original cast members back. I think that if even one of them was gone, I don't think this movie would have been as strong, nor would it have been as good. Even if you just were to have someone replace one of the members, I don't think it would have worked. I love seeing all the actors and actresses getting back into their roles. They slid into them perfectly. You could really bring some of that feeling back from these old characters from the original movie 20 years ago, and I love that so much, how these actors and actresses just slipped into this role like nothing has changed. They're still doing the same thing just 20 years later, and that is a huge positive I have to give for this movie. Another positive is, I have to say, for 20 years later, this movie still kind of sticks with the look of The Devil Wears Prada, meaning it's all fashion, it's all that specific kind of music that hits the right tone, and for it being 20 years later, I think it really worked. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the same director from the original film is also directing the second one, and you can see his mirrored styling to where you feel like you're still a part of that universe, which I also really liked. I don't think another director could have come in and done a better job. So I felt like him slipping back, the director just doing his thing, it worked so well. I still got that feeling I was a part of the Devil Wears Prada universe. Now, on to my mixes, and this is where it gets a little bit heavy. Um, this movie is very long. It's a 2 hour long movie. And they changed the plot so many times to where you think you're focusing on one plot, and then something big happens around the hour way mark, changes into a completely different plot, and it kind of keeps going there. And I felt like they had so much of a story to tell with this universe that they wanted to cram it all into one movie, and to a degree I felt like it kind of hurt, because there's a certain point in the movie, which I will not spoil, where something happens and everything just gets completely changed around. So what you thought the movie was about to be, it's all focused on the whole new plot. And it gets a little tricky, but you can tell that instant moment when it happens, there's a new plot, there's a whole new jump for all this stuff, and then it kind of goes from there. And when that major plot twist happened, it made some questionable choices from these characters, and that's where I'll get into another mixed thing. I don't have a problem with Emily Blunt. I think she's a fantastic actress. I don't really like what they did with the end of her character. To me, it just makes not really much sense, especially 20 years later. Didn't really make much sense for me. I was kind of left scratching my head, like, this is what we decided to do. Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, she stays the same throughout the whole movie. I mean, she does fine. It's more so where I have a mix with that character. So those were the two instances that just kind of left me scratching my head. Like, number one, did we really need this movie now that you've already changed such a drastic plot and turned it into something completely else? I get it, you're trying to modernize it, but it also felt like it shot itself in the foot at the same time trying to do that. And now, as for really just not many negatives, but this is just also not my kind of movie. And going into this, I knew it was not going to be my kind of movie. It's fashion. I mean, that's really what it is, and that's not for me. It's for my wife. And what I more so cared about was her having a good time, which she did. She said the movie was all right, but for me, this is just not anything that's my cup of tea. This is more towards her, and so I'm not docking it purely off of that. But when I'm giving a rating or when I'm giving my enjoyment of a movie, it's based on how I feel, and this is just not something I feel like it's meant for me. It's meant for other Devil Wears Prada fans, in which I feel like walking out of that theater, a lot of people got that. A lot of people that were fans of the original seemed to have a good time, and I was really happy for them. I'm happy for those kind of people that got that out of this movie. Just for me, I was puzzled by some of the decision making here. Some of the moments didn't exactly work for me. I didn't really understand them that well. All the backstory that they keep trying to flood in, it also felt very quick and very random. Like, oh, yeah, this happened during my 20-year span that I haven't talked to you. It sums up in about like 2 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to go from there and continue on the plot. And that also, I kind of wish there was more backstory to some of these characters, or some of these characters had better moments to sit down with each other and talk with each other, because it felt like that was very, very far and few in between. And then what would happen is you'd have those few moments, and then they would shoot to a transition shot where they're showing the sky view of New York or of Italy or something like that, and you just immediately felt like it just dropped. For some reason, that's what I got out of this movie, is that there would be some decent dialogue going, they'd be going back and forth, and all of a sudden it would just show a transition and flip on to the next thing, and I was like, I kind of wanted to go back to that. I kind of wanted to see them talk to each other more, and I kind of got that missing. So that was my one unfortunate negative experience, critically about the film rather than my enjoyment. But overall, I think if you are a fan of The Devil Wears Prada, not the band, the movie, I think you will enjoy this sequel. I think 20 years, it holds up to some. I would say stream it. I wouldn't go out and spend my money for it, but again, this is just not a movie that is kind of directed towards me. It's more so directed towards other people, and I'm going to let them have it. They deserve it. It's not the worst sequel in the world that could be out there. I mean, there could be a lot worse. So when I say I'm happy for others, that's all it is. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you like, subscribe, Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about the movie. Check out my channel. Feel free to share. And I'll see you guys in the next video.